There's not going to be another episode today. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Today, I've been giving some thought to the Uneducated Communist Project itself. Now, it's still early on, and I'm going to see it through. I'm at least going to see through the analysis of Haas's essay and Haas's book. I'm going to try to get at least some of Das Kapital done, because I need to read it anyway. Or reread it. I've read parts of it already, but I need to start from scratch on that. But I would have thought that I would have gotten a lot more engagement in this project than I have. And to be fair, it's a young project. I'm only on 4 episodes. That's not very much. And no matter what, I'm going to at least, like I said, finish the essay and the book. So there will be many, many more episodes, regardless of whether this project takes off or not. But I want to take a moment to assess, kind of think about what I need to do differently, if anything. I mean, do I just need to keep grinding until I get somewhere with it, or is it just not going to be like something that gains a lot of engagement and is just kind of there? Or do I need to change something about the way I'm doing it because there's something I'm doing wrong with it, and I'm not sure? I really don't know. But it got me thinking, because here's the thing, like, this project definitely has a target audience. Like, there are a lot of people who follow Haas, and of the people who follow Haas, I'd say a plurality of them, if not a majority of them, struggle to keep up with Haas's essay, if I had to guess. Now, I'll give Haas's audience some credit. Some of the smartest young people I've ever met. So I'm sure there's a plurality of people who follow Haas who fully grasp what Haas is saying in his essay. Right? But they're complex concepts that draw on some of the most advanced philosophy in human history. And it's a lot to ask for people to just be able to read it and understand it. And so I would have thought, someone sitting down and explaining it to them, that there'd be an audience for that. But at the same time, I get it. I mean, if you're not passionate about it, it's really dry. It is. Like, it's exciting if you love philosophy. If you don't love philosophy, without Haas's showmanship, it's hard to keep y'all's attention, is what I'm gathering. Either that or y'all already understand it and y'all don't need me here. So either way, I'm gonna do it anyway. It doesn't matter. But I'm wondering if, I don't know, maybe do I need to tweak the presentation? I'm not sure. And again, like I said, 4 episodes. But I would have thought that a lot of people would have been jumping on it. You know? But that also got me to thinking about something else, which is to what extent does it even matter? And I'm not saying that in sort of like a nihilistic or defeatist sort of way. That's not what I'm saying. One of the great things about this philosophical movement is that you don't really have to understand it on that deep of a level to kind of get it. I mean, the basics are, it's like this. It's fractal, right? So there's like infinite levels up, infinite levels down. And it's this pattern that repeats itself in all sorts of different ways. Sometimes in really complex ways, sometimes in really simple ways. But then even in the simple ways, like you zoom in and you see like these hyper complex patterns that underlie the simplicity, right? So even if you're a 90 IQ guy, right, and someone explains it to you on your level, they're going to be able to, first of all, they're going to be able to explain it to you on your level, and it won't be this deep, involved, complex, esoteric idea. It'll be super basic, but it'll be enough of an understanding that on your level, you'll be able to benefit from it, right?
K alert.
So in some sense, does it even matter? Right? Because it's a way of thinking that meets you on your level. So in that sense, there isn't some sort of like existential need, right, for me to try to draw other people to a higher level of understanding, because their basis of understanding is, at least in some sense, enough, right, for them, right? I hope I'm not coming across as self-pitying, because that's not how I'm trying to come across. I'm trying to express that I'm trying to do a form of self-criticism in a way. But it's not even really a form of self-criticism as much as it is. It's an assessment, right? It's an assessment of why I'm doing this and what my expected outcome is. And it's an assessment of whether or not I need to make an effort to do anything better. So yeah, I mean, it's a way of thinking that meets you on your level. It's like that meme where you have like that bell curve, right? Now the far tail end of the bell curve, you've got the retard who says what he says, and then at the top of the bell curve, you've got the normie who's crying and saying, no, no, it's the opposite thing. And then on the far right side of the bell curve, you've got the hyper genius who's saying the same thing as the retard on the other tail. That's kind of what this philosophy is like. I don't know. It's sort of like different stages of a dialectical process. So in Hegel, you know, you have the way things are, and then you have the contradictions within it, and then you have the change, right? But in some sense, the original essence of the original thesis always remains. It just becomes more sophisticated and more detailed. Better adapted. It's like a spiral up, right? Where, you know, there's that saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And if you're looking at it from the top down, it looks like you're going in circles, right? But if you're looking at it from the side, it looks like you're spiraling. So this deeper understanding gives you access to a higher level on the spiral. So then you have to ask yourself, what good does that do you? Frankly, I don't know. I'm not sure. Because what I would have said at one point is, okay, well, it makes you qualified to teach, it makes you qualified to lead. But then I look at myself, and I've spent my entire life trying to climb that spiral. And I have a good life. Like, objectively, I have a good life. But then again, objectively, at this point in my life, there's no reason I couldn't have been here 15 to 20 years ago if I played my cards a little bit differently. Objectively. Now, subjectively, it's a little bit of a different story. I've had experiences and thoughts that very few people reach. Does that make me more qualified to lead? Does that make me more qualified to teach? I don't know. Material reality is the ultimate arbiter. So if I put this out there and no one picks it up, I can't be like Cain and get upset that God doesn't favor me. Gotta go back and do something different. Gotta try again. Gotta try something else. But I'm committed to doing this. I'm committed to at least seeing through the essay in the book. And then from there we'll see.